Hi, this is Chris from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from Political Voices Network.
It is hard to go to work every day with Marjorie Taylor Greene as a colleague.
Just based on how she smells, according to Noel Castler's Uber driver friend. What was it again? A wetsuit that's been left in the car in July.
For 3 days.
Right.
And a bone broth and buttermilk milkshake.
Yeah. Okay. So just that alone.
I'm never ordering that at
GOP.
Shake Shack ever again.
Stunts and okay. I'm just saying I'm giving them a slogan for free. Yeah. Okay. Because they either that or they just are a defense team for the biggest crook we've ever had in the White House, right? So Trump testified yesterday. Oh, he took I believe the score now. Trump has taken the fifth 440 times. Hillary Clinton, that would be 0. And for those of you, if you're keeping score at home.
Nothing to hide.
Yeah. So Marjorie Taylor Greene tweeted, Trump told the court how incredibly successful he and his family have been, truly living the American dream. I don't think he said anything, did he, other than taking the fifth? She said, I just spoke to our great 45th POTUS, Donald J. Trump.
I just think I'm going to barf.
Oh, and future 47th president. After he spent all day being questioned by vicious lying loser Letitia. Oh my God. They're just right 8th grade name callers, just like him. That's their sole existence. Matt Schlapp has tweeted. Speaking of right wing, he said it's sad to see. It's sad to see how vicious and polarized politics has become as a result of the intolerance on the left. We need to revive the idea of friendships and respect for one another, regardless of political affiliation, says noted penis pummeler Matt Schlapp. And also,
Wheel of Right-Wing Hypocrites.
It's intolerance on the left of hypocritical penis pummeling. We're fine with regular penis pummeling if it's two consenting adults.
If you're into it, if that's your
Right.
thing, pummel away, but it's not mine.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Our dogs are C's now, aren't they? Yeah. However, we have an unsolicited testimonial, don't we?
Right.
So I gave you Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend for Hefe.
Yep.
Who is a persnickety. He said, right?
Yeah, he's not he's not going for the food that he has right now. So,
Yeah, and?
He loved it.
Oh my God. This unsolicited testimonial, Dr. Barney's Nature's Blend. I'm telling you, I thought they grew opposable thumbs because when I switched their food, you mix it, right? It was like they just picked out, like they had tweezers,
stuff that you want.
Tweezers or opposable thumbs. They only ate the Dr. Marty's and left the other little kibbles there.
I do the same thing with the marshmallows in my Lucky Charms cereal every weekend, so I get
Good
that.
analogy.
I totally get that.
Good analogy. Hefe's a good boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was up on his-
drmartypets.com/Stephanie. Yeah.
He was on his hind legs asking for more.
Was he? Yeah. They love it. I'm telling you. It's crazy. Okay.
Was he dancing like one of the dogs that...
Arthritic
poodle?
from years of dancing for his food?
He's getting there.
All right. David in Miami. Hello, David.
Randy Rhodes, hello.
Huh.
Oh, sorry, that's the wrong
Oh, you
show.
yelled out the wrong name. That's okay. I'm used to it.
I hate
It's
when that
fine.
happens.
It's fine. I love her too, so it's
Yes.
fine. I might have yelled her name out with you, so who knows?
Great minds, yes.
Okay.
Some big companies, they have dead peasants insurance. I say we need Lord Grantham insurance, like the big guy in Downton Abbey who is just utterly incompetent and is there for no good reason. Unfortunately, there's maybe generations who either have dementia or so severe autism, undiagnosed, untreated. I'm sorry, we need to find them, retire them honorably, make them emeritus class, because unfortunately they're making life unlivable for the rest of us. Whether it's Trump, certain senators, we need a plan, pay them, get them help, whatever, but get them out of power so that us survivors can try to survive, a 26-inch rainstorm. My dad and I were not in Aventura. It was bad, but Fort Lauderdale was worse.
Okay, yes.
Love you.
Okay, love you too. And he's calling from inside his dryer.
It was,
that was a little rough. Okay, yes, Ron DeSantis is no in casa, and the Fort Lauderdale is underwater. Okay, we were talking about our political dilemma out here, and I was, this is my Libra-ness, is I can't ever decide. I see both sides, and then I change my mind. But because we're just at such an emergency, I think, with the judiciary, and we were talking about the fact that Dianne Feinstein has missed I don't know what it is now,
been out for a
50,
couple of
almost
months
60
now.
votes. Yeah,
Yeah.
she has shingles. She's 89, and she's missed. And meanwhile, I think because we have this Trump judge that did the abortion bill,
Put a spotlight back on that issue.
Yeah, it's just there is a spotlight on judges, and so I understand going, like we have got to get judges confirmed because you can't get any judges confirmed while she is out. So, but I do get the sexism that Chuck Grassley is how old, Sean? 11 billion, I'm going to say?
Ancient.
Yes, 11 billion.
Yeah.
And I do get there is a sexism. I think Nancy, we have a cut eight, Nancy Pelosi. There is some sexism in that, and I get
debate.
it. Yeah.
She deserves the respect to get well and be back on duty. And it's interesting to me. I don't know what political agendas are at work that are going after Senator Feinstein in that way. I've never seen them go after a man who was sick in the Senate in that way.
Yeah, I mean, and Chris Murphy actually echoed her point.
Yeah.
Senator Murphy.
I think it's interesting that, there have been male senators who have been away from the chamber for quite a period of time and haven't necessarily had, this call for resignation. Mitch McConnell, for instance, has been out of the Senate for a few months now. I think that there are, likely people who, would like to see Senator Feinstein resign so that either, they or their favored candidates can perhaps be appointed to that seat.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is politics. And I happen to love her. I mean, I have met her.
Yeah.
I actually, have loved her for a long time. And I think she has, and I've always thought she has the right to retire with dignity and respect on her own terms. But I think we're just in we really are literally facing fascism on many fronts. And I think it gets terrifying that we're not able, and I wish it didn't have to be this way. Like, we have to get judges in because pretty much everyone Trump appointed are lunatics, are right-wing lunatics, and not qualified. It's the first time in history that the ABA, none of them were rated by the ABA, right? None of them were rated qualified.
No.
One more, Senator Murphy, sorry, real quick.
I think Diane is a legend. I think she has changed this country for the better. I think she made the right decision to ask for temporary removal while she recovers from the Judiciary Committee, but I think she deserves to have a little bit of time to recover from this injury and illness to be able to get back to the Senate. And no, I don't love, members of the House of Representatives telling her what she should do and the terms upon which she should end her public service. There's plenty of members of the Senate who have been sick, gotten ill, and have been given some time to come back and recover.
So, Trav, you were explaining to me her stepping down from the judiciary. Does that help this judge? It gets a little technical, right?
So there's a loophole that we have to jump through for this one. If she were to retire, leave the Senate, someone new is appointed, and they can refill their seat. But to do this step down, they need to get Republicans to sign off on this, to like a temporary replacement. We're going to substitute.
Oh, and they're already, of course, there's Effery. They're like, only Sinema, who's not a Democrat anymore, right? Like this, so they wanted to be, once again, all on their terms. I mean, if Republicans were decent, you'd go, okay, right? But they're not.
And I love Dianne Feinstein. I respect Dianne Feinstein. I think one of the things that Pelosi and Murphy aren't talking about there is underlying the shingles condition is all these reports we've had about her memory issues.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is a separate thing than recovering from shingles.
And by the way, so Kristen Sinema not only is not a Democrat anymore, but she just very, very publicly gave the middle finger, basically, to Biden and Democrats, and the White House has been talking about Democrats at Republican fundraising stuff. I mean, give me a break. Like, that's a compromise, right?
Well, but if Republicans do not support them substituting someone for Dianne Feinstein, then we can't pass judges out as easily from the Judiciary Committee.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And if they hold our feet to the fire, then if they're not going to support this, then I think it really is time for Dianne to consider stepping down and retiring.
Ro Khanna on the other side of the issue, Representative Khanna.
First of all, let me just say this. I have an enormous amount of respect for Senator Dianne Feinstein. She has had an extraordinary career in public service. She's been an icon on issues of gun violence and women's rights. But it has become painfully obvious to many of us in California that she is no longer able to fulfill her duties. She doesn't have a clear return date. We haven't been able to confirm judges at a time where women's rights and voting rights are under assault.
One more, Ro Khanna.
Senator Durbin himself, who's the chair of Judiciary, has said that the reason we're not being able to move these judges is because Senator Feinstein isn't there. And so as someone from California, I felt an obligation to say what so many colleagues are saying in private, that the time has come for her to gracefully step down and have a dignified end to a very distinguished political career.
Here I am. I literally see both sides of this
I
issue,
do
and
too.
it's just a difficult issue.
Well, and
I get what people are saying, that Ro Khanna is one of the people that wants that seat, along with Adam Schiff and
well, no,
Katie
Ro
Porter.
Khanna says he's not running.
No?
He's endorsed Barbara Lee, but that's
Barbara Lee. I'm sorry. But I mean, that's what they're
piece.
saying. That's what Senator Murphy was saying. Is everybody has their candidate that they would obviously love to get appointed, because that would be a huge leg up.
The other piece of it is Gavin Newsom said if there is a retirement, he would appoint a black woman. And we've already got a race right now with our, we love our Adam Schiff, we love our Katie Porter, and we love our Barbara Lee.
Yeah, 14. One more. Speaking of Katie Porter, talking about Congress in general.
Congress has about the same popularity as the American cockroach. And I think we should think about, why is that? Why don't people like us? Why don't people trust us? And I think a lot of it is because we're not straight with them about what it's really like, about why it's hard, about what the challenges are, and about what we can do about it.
Can I just say, we do have an embarrassment of riches, particularly in California.
Yeah.
You're right.
No,
I mean, Adam Schiff, Katie Porter, Barbara Lee. I mean, you just can't go wrong, right? I mean, it's.
But then you
and
also
on their side, did I mention that they are mostly just stunts and
right? But the flip side of that too is if Newsom does then follow through and appoint a black woman, that would be Barbara Lee most likely.
Yeah.
Then does he give her an unfair advantage in the upcoming election?
I know. Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things.
It's a mess.
I know. She's older too.
Yeah.
She's in her 70s.
I know.
Republicans say they won't cut Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid. But can honest, hard-working middle-class Americans really believe what these politicians say? Republicans said they wouldn't overturn Roe v. Wade. Here's what Supreme Court Justices Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Coney Barrett said during their Senate confirmation hearings.
Roe v. Wade is a precedent of the United States Supreme Court. A good judge will consider it as precedent of the United States Supreme Court.
Roe v. Wade. It's settled as a precedent of the Supreme Court.
Roe is not a super precedent, but that doesn't mean that Roe should be overruled.
Well, we saw how that turned out. They played us for fools. Tell your elected officials to keep their hands off of our Social Security and healthcare benefits.